It was a bright morning in a quiet suburban neighborhood. The kind of day where life seemed calm on the surface, yet something deeply unsettling was about to unfold. Nobody walking past the tall houses on Maple Street could have guessed that inside one of them, a little girl was silently pleading for help. Her tiny hands trembled, eyes watered, but she dared not make a sound. For her, silence was survival. And in that silence, she placed her trust in the only one who could truly understand her without words: a highly trained police dog. This is not just another story about loyalty. It is about courage, instinct, and the silent bond between a frightened child and a protector who spoke no human language, yet understood everything. What happened next left even the most experienced officers speechless. The little girl's name was Emily. She was only 8 years old, long golden hair that caught the light like strands of silk. Her life should have been filled with playgrounds, laughter, and bedtime stories, but on this day, sat heavy in her chest, her family home, usually a safe haven, had been invaded by danger. A man she did not know was pacing the living room, his voice sharp, movements aggressive. Emily hid behind the curtains, her heart beating like a trapped bird, knew she couldn't shout or run. Any sudden move could make things worse. Outside, police cars had already surrounded the house. Neighbors whispered, watching nervously from behind their fences. But amidst the flashing lights and radios crackling with instructions, stood a magnificent German shepherd named Rex. His thick coat gleamed under the morning sun, his ears perked, and his eyes sharp as if he could sense the storm brewing inside the house. Unlike the officers, didn't need words to understand danger. He could read tension in the air, smell fear, and detect emotions no human eye could see. What nobody expected was that Emily, with her childlike courage, would find a way to signal him, without a single word, remembered what her father once told her when they walked past a police demonstration. If you ever see a police dog, know that he is a friend. He listens, even when you can't speak. Those words echoed in her mind as she peeked through the curtain, her tear-filled eyes meeting Rex's piercing gaze outside. Then it happened. Emily raised her small hand just slightly, pressing her palm against the glass. It was a silent cry for help, a gesture no adult noticed in the chaos. But Rex noticed. His head tilted, his body stiffened, and a low growl rumbled in his throat. He understood. What followed was nothing short of extraordinary. Rex barked once, loud, commanding, the kind of bark that alerted officers instantly. The handler, Officer Daniels, down in confusion. "What is it, boy?" But before he could pull him back, Rex lunged forward, his eyes locked on the window where Emily's pale face had just appeared for a second. It wasn't random. It was deliberate. The girl had chosen him. Inside, felt a flicker of hope. She pressed her palm again, slower this time, holding Rex's gaze. The man pacing behind her didn't notice, caught up in his anger. But Rex did. He barked again, sharper, turning his head toward his handler with insistence. It was as if he was saying, "There's someone in there, and she needs us now." Police dogs are trained for countless scenarios, but sometimes, instinct goes beyond training. Wasn't just following orders, he was reading the situation, making decisions and demanding action. Officer Daniels finally radioed the team. "We've got movement in the east window. A child." The dog picked it up. Every second mattered. Negotiations stalled, the suspect grew agitated. Tension spiked like a ticking time bomb. But while adults debated tactics, Emily and Rex communicated in silence. Her hand lifted once more, trembling but steady, eyes pleading. Rex responded by pawing the ground, restless, pushing forward. His loyalty had already chosen its path. He would protect this child no matter the cost. The decision came fast. Officers moved closer, shields up, weapons ready. Rex was already on the move. At Daniels's command, the dog leapt through the partially open back door with astonishing speed. The suspect turned, startled. Rex charged, his growl echoing like thunder. He launched at the man, knocking him off balance, teeth bared, a force of nature fueled by duty. Emily screamed, but this time it wasn't from fear. It was a release, the sound of hope breaking free from silence. She crawled out from behind the curtain as Rex held the intruder down, his powerful body pinning danger to the ground. Within seconds, officers swarmed the room, securing the suspect, handcuffing him as Rex held firm. For Emily, the nightmare ended the moment she felt a warm nose nudge against her trembling hands, down into Rex's dark, gentle eyes, and for the first time that day, she smiled. Without words they had saved each other. her with her silent signal, with his unwavering instinct. News spread quickly. Neighbors who had been holding their breath burst into applause as Emily was carried out in a blanket, Rex walking proudly beside her. The media called it a miracle. Officers called it training at its finest. But Emily knew better. This wasn't just about training. It was about trust, a bond written in silence, sealed in courage. Later, when asked what gave her the strength to signal the dog, simply whispered, "I knew he would understand me." And she was right. This story reminds us of something powerful, that sometimes come through grand gestures or loud cries. Sometimes it's found in the quiet understanding between two souls who don't even share the same language. Rex wasn't just a police dog that day. He was a hero, a guardian, and a friend who heard the cry that nobody else could hear. In a world where voices often go unheard, Emily's silent signal and Rex's instinct remind us that connection can transcend words. Courage doesn't always roar. Sometimes it whispers, and sometimes. Conclusion. So, the next time you see a police dog, remember this story. Behind those sharp eyes and disciplined stance lies not just an officer's partner, a protector who carries an unspoken promise to stand guard for the innocent, to respond to the silent cries, remind us all that true heroes often walk on four legs. Emily will never forget the day she pressed her hand against the glass, will never forget the little girl who trusted him. Their bond became a story that touched hearts around the world. A story of hope, courage, silent language of love. Because sometimes all it takes is a single signal.